stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Reggie.
morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. You are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Welcome to GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is your go-to platform for insightful discussions and informed perspectives on the latest headlines making waves across the nation. I remain your host, Esinam Fiagbedu, and joining me today as usual, is my able panelists, Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Yeah,
Great.
Your side.
Fine. How did the day treat you yesterday?
Take it like that.
Do you have any challenges getting home that night? Did you have any challenges getting home yesterday? Maybe the traffic was hectic, you were sleeping in the car, anything?
The stress it's there, but I got home safe and sound.
Oh, yeah. Nice. We thank God for that. For me, I'm much excited today because they'll be reading the budget today. And I must say that I'm curious. I can't wait to listen to what they have to present to us.
Yeah.
Basically. Are your expectations high as well?
My expectations are high, but you know the saying. For you not to be disappointed that much, make sure your expectations are limited. Or better still, don't expect too much at all. But we are hoping for the best.
Okay. We are hoping for the best. What of you, Miss Adoso?
Well, for me, my expectations are very, very high because they've said a lot of things that, excuse me, they would like to do. They've put a lot of things, assurance out there. So we are also of high hope and high expectations that what they said, they will do it and they are not going to disappoint Ghanaians. So for me, I have a very high expectation. And the few things I'm looking up to, when they do not mention it or scrub it, then trust me, I'll be very disappointed in them.
Okay. You'll be very disappointed if they give you high expectation and they are not able to deliver to that. All right. Let's delve straight into our headline for today. NSS scandal. Gifty Oware Mensah granted bail. The former Deputy Director of the National Service Authority, Gifty Oware Mensah, has been granted bail following her detention by the National Intelligence Bureau over the allegations of payroll fraud during her term at the authority. Oware Mensah, who is also an Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, was discharged on Saturday after several hours of questioning. However, the specific terms of her bail remain unclear. Oware Mensah's arrest follows a widely reported investigation into the alleged embezzlement of funds at the NSA, specifically relating to fraudulent payroll activities that occurred while she was in office. The case has attracted considerably public attention, with many closely watching the developments surrounding the former NSA officials' involvement in the scandal. So yesterday we saw in the news that Gifty Oware was detained and then her whereabouts is unknown. We have it this morning that she has been
Bailed.
She has been released.
Yeah.
And the reason she has been released still remains unclear. What do you think? Are they being transparent with us enough? At least we should know why, when the General Secretary, which was John Boydu, wanted to bail her, they didn't give him the chance to bail her. So what happened this time around that she has been bailed? On what conditions was she bailed on?
Okay, so first of all, I would start from this point. If they know they can't be transparent and accountable with us, I feel that there's no need for them to even come out to declare her wanted or to declare her as someone involved in an ongoing fraudulent case. With this being said, they came out that she's been wanted for an investigation, but she wasn't in the country. When she arrived, we knew. When she was arrested, we knew. When she was still detained, where her whereabouts wasn't even known, we knew. So how come? And we also saw how the former MPP was trying to, is it John Boydu, was trying his possible best to
release her.
We knew. So now, what happened? She been billed. Yesterday, I made a statement saying she can't be detained for more than 24 hours if there's no logical charge against her, and that is fine. We know they haven't made any formal charge against her, and the expectations of her being billed is very high. But come out to tell us why, on what grounds, as you said, on what conditions was she billed? Is she innocent? Is investigation still ongoing? We need to know all this. We are Ghanaians and you respect us as Ghanaians. That is why you came out to make this public. But if you feel that you can't if you can't communicate with us effectively as it's supposed to be, you shouldn't even start from the onset. You can't start with us from the onset and just leave us midway. So I feel we are should I say accountable, not accountable, but we also deserve an explanation. Yeah, we deserve an explanation. So it would be sane if they come out to do that. And also people wouldn't question their loyalty. Right?
I think that would be.
So I kept asking myself whether a suspect can be granted bail, and it has been a question in my head for some time now, but my findings has proved me wrong that yes, a suspect can be granted bail depending on the circumstances. And you know, there are several factors that evolves around a suspect being granted bail. That's the severity of the case, or the nature and the seriousness of that particular case, and if the person have a family tie or a community tie with someone as well. It's also a factor that leads to a person being granted bail. But this is a case where we were known, like we know what led to this particular incident, and so since it is a concern of the state, that is why they create our awareness concerning this particular issue. And yesterday I said that this issue is a concern to the state because it has caused a financial loss to the state. People who do not exist are being paid over 81,000 of names. So where has the money been going all this while? It means that the money has been going into a particular person's pocket. And so if you have created our awareness, we know that definitely you will do something to identify that particular ghost that have been swallowing all this money. And then it was alleged that this woman, Mrs. Gifty Owari, has something to do with this particular issue. And then you came out and you told us everything about this. And yesterday we were told that she was taken by the NIB. So we were all of high expectation that we'll hear something very good, at least something very encouraging, but unfortunately it is what it is. And then all we could hear is that she has been granted bail. Nothing to show, nothing to prove, nothing to even stand by to say these are the main reason why she has been granted bail. And when such issues happen like that, one, it tells me it looks as if you don't know what you're up to, and it tells us how we are not transparent enough and how unserious we are as well
as a nation. Because
if you are telling me that NIB has come for me or anyone in this, you should tell me why you've granted the person a bail. If maybe investigation is still going, but that
they don't have enough evidence.
Enough evidence, then you let us know. But when you're doing that, one, you are also making us lose trust in that particular entity, which is very bad. So I think they have to do something about. But with this woman's case, they shouldn't allow it to lie.
We are just hoping that it wouldn't be another story that will be forgotten, and then they won't be looking into it. But what do you think the next step will be? Is it that there'll be pressing formal charges, or there'll be a court appearance?
Well, it can be either of the two. Either they will say court appearance or whatever they will say, but what we are saying is that we are just pleading that this case wouldn't be a foolish case, because we've encountered similar incidents like this, where the people, even if the person goes to court, the person will keep adjourning it. Come next week, come next month, come next year, and then at the end of the day, we don't even know how it went. And then when it's happened like that, they do that to the extent that you yourself, you become fed up, so you don't want to even follow up, and then the case dies. But this is a whole money that can actually pay people's salary. So, I mean, it shouldn't be a foolish case. We have to take this issue seriously, and then make sure that the culprits are arrested, because when it's done, it serves as example to other people. But when we allow it to lie, then it means we are promoting corruption.
Yeah. So I think that the NIB should be transparent with us enough and come and tell us what are the conditions that were attached to her being bailed. Because when she was detained, we got to know. The reason for her being bailed out, we don't know. Please come and tell us. Be transparent with us. Don't leave the issues hanging. In my own opinion, that is what I think they should do. All right, moving on to our next headline. Government shouldn't adopt populist approach to scrapping taxes. This is coming from Dr. Bafi, senior lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. Dr. Nyame Bafi has cautioned the government against taking a populist approach to tax removal, warning of its potential impact on revenue generation and economic stability. His remarks come amid the government's pledge to scrap some levies, including the e-levy, COVID-19 levy, and betting tax. Dr. Bafi highlighted that taxes such as the e-levy, COVID-19 levy, and the betting tax contribute approximately 6.8 billion Ghana cedis to government revenue. He questioned how the government plans to bridge this revenue gap if these taxes are scrapped, given their role in funding critical infrastructure projects, including the Agenda 111 project, adding that government is already constrained in terms of revenue, as seen in the annual budget statement. Dr. Bafi highlighted the importance of retaining these taxes, stressing that the betting tax and other levies are crucial for funding key government programs. So now, let's break it down. So the senior lecturer's argument is not against tax reform, but rather advocates for a strategic approach to ensure the government does not create a revenue gap that could jeopardize essential infrastructure projects, including the Agenda 111. So in his opinion, he's saying that the COVID levy, the betting tax, and then the e-levy contributes about 6.8 billion Ghana cedis to the government's revenue. And here lies the case. JM is saying that when he comes into power, he's going to take those taxes off. And they are saying, how is it going to bridge the gap with the Agenda 111? Is it that he's scrapping it off and he's introducing new taxes or new indirect taxes? For me, I'm hoping that he's not going to introduce new taxes, because if you are saying you are taking those levies off, then why are you bringing new ones?
Okay, so Mahama himself said that there will be no need for new taxes. They wouldn't introduce any new taxes. So to Dr. Bafi, saying the government shouldn't adopt populist approach. And when we are talking about the populist approach, the populist itself stands for the population, which is we Ghanaians. We are the population. And the approach, we are all calling on the government to scrap the e-levy, the betting tax, the COVID levy. That is what he means by the populist approach, because that is what we are all calling for. Fine. He's saying that when all these taxes are being scrapped, it wouldn't help, especially with our economy. And also, how would the Agenda 111 initiative be completed? In the past government, they are the ones who brought these. So why then didn't they use that money generated from all these levies to complete the projects? he's saying that it shouldn't be scrapped. Okay. Let's look at the toll booth, for example. This toll booth was generating a lot of money each and every day. Not each and every day, every hour, every minute, every second, money is being generated all the time. Why then did they scrap that and rather brought this betting tax, e-levy, a whole lot?
And you know that the toll booth also served as an employment for the disabled people.
Exactly. They told us that this e-levy would generate millions of cedis, billions of cedis, and out of that millions of cedis, they would be able, if I'm lying, I stand to be corrected, they will be able to create at least, is it 1.2 million or 1 million jobs for individuals, for the youth. And how did that go? This levy, all these levies were in there, but still we were thriving as a country.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would be the difference if it is still scrapped? And they are not just scrapping it, but they wouldn't introduce another bet, but rather another tax, but rather they would find an alternative way,
or strategic approach.
A strategic approach to make sure that another thing is being incorporated into it, which is not introducing a tax, which would there become a burden, a financial burden to the Ghanaian citizen. So he's saying that if they scrap it, a whole lot, money issues here and there, it can bring job, it can bring this, it can help with the completing of the agenda 111. There's a question mark on him himself, so he should go and check.
Do you think this is just propaganda?
It is propaganda.
Oh,
big, and Debbie, I'm like, it is big time propaganda. Seriously.
Okay. So you don't agree with him, Miss Debbie?
Yeah, I don't agree with him, because during the previous government, when the previous government was in power, we were paying a lot of taxes, like the COVID tax, nuisance tax, taxes that do not even make sense. We were paying it, and they made us understood that those taxes are going to generate a lot of revenue, which is going to bring development. I mean, to ease financial burden on the citizens, and to also create jobs for the unemployed citizens in the country. But what did we see? They were increasing taxes, introducing new taxes, and then still we were still suffering, and still there were unemployment. Even though they were introducing taxes, they were also bringing out reports that were not like report that has reports that has no points for you to go and check its existence. So let me say report that does not exist. That's always say that 2.8 million youth are employed, citizens are employed, but we don't see it. And then we continue to introduce new taxes. I remember when they bought the e-levy and we were all complaining. They went to, pop champagne and then eat on top of us. So for them, they feel like they were there on their power, but forgetting that it was the people who pushed them there. So I believe this government, they've learned, and I know they've put down policies and plans to make sure that even if they don't introduce new taxes on board, they can still generate revenue for the country. Trust me, if this e-levy thing is actually benefiting the country, no one will stand for the government to scrap it. But the e-levy is actually draining us. How can I, those times when they send 100 cedis to me, or I send 100 cedis to someone, they don't deduct even 50 cedis, but now 11 cedis they will still deduct. 5 cedis they will still deduct, and it's costing a whole lot. And I remember when they brought this e-levy, the momo vendors were also complaining that it's going to bring down their profits and stuff, but they still didn't listen. So this is all propaganda. I feel like it's propaganda, because during your government time you couldn't even advise them, and now that a new government is in power, consuming what your government has left behind, you are complaining. Why should you complain? They are in power. They know what to do. They know the necessary steps to take to ensure that we are all on a leveled ground, and then everything goes on as planned. They've promised, they've said a lot of things, and as I said in my first opinion, that definitely they know what to do, and I'm sure that the policy they'll bring will actually benefit Ghana. They are not going to introduce, even if they should introduce new taxes, I believe it is not going to be so, tense like what the previous government did, because it was a whole betting. Yeah.
So looking at them scrapping the levies, which has to do with the COVID-19 levy, the betting tax, and then the e-levy as well, do you think there's going to be an increase in borrowing? Because in a way, financially, this money was bringing revenue to the government. Do you think it's going to increase borrowing, or a new indirect tax will be introduced?
For the borrowing this thing, there is already there. Definitely we will go to the IMF.
So you think we will borrow again?
Yes, I believe we will go, but maybe when we go, it won't be that like huge, like what the previous government did. And even if they should go in for the IMF, the support of the IMF, I believe that they should, or I'm expecting that they should use it for the needed purposes, because the previous government went to the IMF, they took the money, and then we didn't see what they used the money for. So even if the e-levy, they claim that the e-levy, the betting tax, and all those tax generate a lot of revenue for the country. So that revenue that was generated during their tenure in office, they said they were not able to exhaust all the revenue. So where is the remaining of the revenues? If the revenue that is remaining is good enough to sustain the country, then I'm not sure this current government will go to an IMF. But I believe that what we have is not going to help the country. So even if they scrap the e-levy, there will definitely be an indirect way that they can use to generate revenues. And as we said, the toll booth, and it's not only on the toll booth. It's like we are fixing so much interest on the tax, but I feel like there are other institutions or other direction that we can face to, that we can actually gain this like more revenue for the country. And even if they should go to the IMF for money or something, we expect that they use it for the intended purposes. Our problem is that we go to the IMF for the money, but we don't use it properly. And even with the IMF, they tell you what to use the money for. So the e-levy is scrapped. I think they have something to do to generate more revenue to the country.
So looking at this, which sector do you think will be most affected? With them scrapping the e-levy, the bet tax, or you think it's the governments that will be affected?
It will not affect anybody. It will rather ease, like, we the citizens.
Okay.
It won't affect us.
And it will affect those who are.
But is there any sector? Is there any sector you think will be affected by them scrapping the
e-levy in this country? No sector. It is only when you are looting illegally that it will affect you and you feel the pain. But this is what, even some of the members of parliament are even crying behind the scene for the e-levy to be scrapped. But they don't. It's alleged that some of them are even behind the people, the public, calling on the government to scrap the e-levy. But they don't want to come out so that you know that a general question. So see, it's not going to affect any sector. It is going to help us, because I cannot be receiving money. You are taking e-levy tax for what reason?
Even if
betting tax.
When the e-levy wasn't in existence, how was it affecting you? So why then say, oh, maybe if you want it won't now and it will affect you? It won't affect anybody.
All right, let's wait and see.
It will affect us positively.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Okada legalization process underway. Law to be amended. Chief Executive of the National Road Safety Authority has confirmed that plans are underway to amend the Roads Act to facilitate legalizing commercial motorcycle operation, popularly known as Okada. He explained that the legislative instrument meant to legalize Okada was previously withdrawn from Parliament due to concern over the siren usage by members of Parliament. However, he stated that the law is being reviewed and will soon be reintroduced to Parliament for approval, after which the legislation process will commence. As part of efforts to ensure a smooth transition, the NRSA CEO stated that a delegation recently returned from Rwanda, where they studied best practices regarding motorcycle transports. So President John Dramani Mahama said in his manifesto that when he comes into power, he's going to legalize Okada. That is the motorcycle transport system. And then Parliament didn't accept that, but they are trying again to see what Parliament has to say with that. And even that, they went to Rwanda to see how their system worked there with the motorcycle transport. What do you make of it?
Okay, so with this Okada legalization thing, Angasa, I'll say it is a hot debate. As he said, some people are not in support of it, but 100%, I'll say almost all the youth are in support of it, because if it is legalized, even though it is not legalized now, it is still providing employment opportunities for some. So just imagine it is legalized, kwata. Everyone has the chance to involve themselves in that aspect of or that sector of it. All you have to do is to just get your motor, make sure that you have a license plate, you have all the necessary documents and all that. So once it's legalized, it would bring down the issue of youth unemployment in our country. And also, it also serves as a means of transportation, especially even if it's not in the urban area, especially in the rural area. Because I quite remember I went to the Volta region, some part of the Volta region, cars do not normally work. The only transportation system there is Okada. You have to be picking it in and out all the time. So just imagine that this thing is not legalized. How then would transportation ease? How then would you have access to transportation? So with the legalization, I feel it's good. And also let's look at the aspect of accidents, because Okada or motor riders have gained this popularity or have gained that name for themselves to be reckless drivers, and also the rate at which Okada or motor riders involve themselves in accidents is very high. Very, very, very high. So with the National Road Safety Authority coming in also to make sure that the road safety and all that is being, I'll say, improvised, I feel it would really help. It is not only about legalizing it, but putting steps in place to make sure that even though it's been legalized, it would benefit us positively and we wouldn't have any negative aspect of it, which is the accident. And also, all this will be legalized. Education will be given to them on how to make sure that all these things are put in place. But also, it all boils down to that individual himself. How do you ride? Some people would even still want to maneuver themselves through a thin line where two cars are there. They want to pass through that thin line, and at the end, it will be a different thing altogether. So, yeah.
Well, legalizing Okada, we know that like it's illegal though, but it also provides job for the unemployed, and we know that 99% of the youth in this country, the only means of their survival is this Okada work. So
yeah, the delivery guys.
Yes, legalizing it will really help, because some of them cannot go and steal, they cannot rob. The only way to also get their means of, or the only way to put food on the table is through this Okada works that we are talking about. So the only things that needs to be done is for them to be, educate on this road safety measures and stuff to prevent accidents. And one has to do with the helmet as well. Not only the motorists should be educated, but you, the one going to sit on the motor as well, should be educated as well. Because you see a motor rider taking a passenger, and then the motor rider has a helmet on, and the passenger has no helmet, and you're comfortable sitting at his back. Just imagine something unfortunate happen. You would just go just like that. So I feel like it is good to legalize the Okada, but they should be educated. Then our police to also do their work as well. Sometimes they see these people and then they just ignore it because of the little token they will get from them. So it's good, but then we should make sure that things are being put in place. And then motors or the Okadas we have also reduce, traffic congestion as well. Even though I was told some time ago that they should obey traffic lights and stuff. I don't know whether that thing is legalized, because sometimes you see Okada riders, when it's red, they are just going just like that. They don't actually go by the traffic. Like when it's red and vehicle are stopping, they feel like it's a motor, not a vehicle. So they just, pass just like that. So I feel like those things should also be checked, aside the Okada being legalized.
Okay, so do you think that these Okada riders will go through a mandatory training or licensing requirements before the law takes effect?
They have to. Because we have a lot of motor riders that are not licensed. And if sometimes you get into trouble, that's when they'll be asking, then he will be like, sometimes the motor rider himself, the motor he's riding, the motor is not for him, it's for someone else. And he doesn't know whether it's licensed or not. So since they've now made it known that they want to legalize it, they should go through a form of training. They should make sure that these riders are licensed and know the road signs and everything that has to do with, you driving on the street. So if they are much educated on that, and then let's say unfortunately you are being caught for misbehaving or something, they should arrest you, so that it will serve as a deterrent to others. See, motor accidents are so severe than vehicle accidents. I've seen motor hitting people and they do not survive. So if these people are being trained in how to ride, the necessary tips that they are supposed to know as an Okada rider, and to know that as you are on the motorbike, there are two things involved. No one is praying for accidents, no one is praying for you to die, but these are something that you cannot do without. It can happen or may not happen due to your due to how you carry yourself on the motorbike. So I feel like it is good, and I know they will make sure that they are licensed and they go through the right training.
Right. So the legalization of Okada is a significant shift in Ghana's transport sector. However, I think there should be strict measures and then policies that needs to be put in place before the law takes effect. Moving on to our last headline. Finance Minister to unveil Mohammed's 2025 budget today. Finance Minister Dr. Kassel Atuforsen will today present the 2025 budget statement and economic policy to Parliament, marking the first comprehensive financial roadmap of the Mahama administration since assuming office. The highly anticipated budget is expected to outline bold policy measures aimed at stabilizing the economy, fostering growth, and addressing the nation's challenges. With the country still grappling with high debt levels, inflation, and unemployment, all eyes are on Dr. Forsen to unveil strategies that will provide relief to businesses and households while setting the country on a path to recovery. The key highlight of the budget is the anticipated removal of several controversial taxes, including the e-levy, the COVID-19 health levy, and then the betting tax. These levies, introduced by the previous administration, were widely criticized for increasing the financial burden on citizens. Drumroll! Finally, today is the day Dr. Kassel Atuforsen will be reading the 2025 budget to us under Mohammed's government. What do you think?
We've been talking about
First off, do you think those taxes were controversial?
The e-levy.
The e-levy taxes.
Yeah, it was.
It was
controversial.
Yeah, they said it's controversial.
Yeah, it's controversial.
That's what the story is telling us.
Yeah,
that it's controversial.
It is controversial.
Very, very.
Because looking at the rates, no one applauded those taxes.
Okay.
Everyone was
criticizing, but still,
yes.
we just had to go with the flow. So the budget is expected to introduce bold policy measures, which is aimed at addressing challenges. That is what, for me, that is what I'm hoping for. If you say you are scrapping the e-levy, what measures are you putting in place to make sure that we are out of this economic crisis as you claim we are in?
Well, all the questions you are asking is included in the budget. So today, when it comes to read the budget,
you will know
exactly. After he has talked about scrubbing, they will put out the measures to generate more revenue.
Okay.
Yes.
So for me, how does the government plan to compensate for the revenue loss from scrubbing these taxes?
you will know
You
in
will
the
know.
budget reading.
Would the budget include new borrowing strategies
Oh.
or debit
All
or
included.
debt reduction plans?
You will know.
You will
Oh,
know,
I'll
you will
know.
know.
What measures will be introduced to reduce unemployment and support businesses?
You will know.
I'll know.
In the budget.
All right. How will inflation, the GDP growth, and the deficit reduction be managed in the coming year?
You will know by the
All
end
right.
of the day.
All right. All eyes on Forcing today. All eyes on Forcing today. So this is where we end our news headline review. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Thank you for joining me again on Tuesday's edition of The Biz Grill, where we delve deep into pressing issues of the state. My name is Deborah Adoso. Let's look at this. Declare state of emergency on Galamsey side miracle to government. The former director of communications for the 2024 Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign, Dennis Miracle Abuaje, has called on the government to declare a state of emergency to tackle illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey. Stakeholders in the mining sector have raised concerns over the continued destruction of lands and pollution of water bodies due to illegal mining activities. Now, this is what he said. We want the NDC to declare a state of emergency because Galamsey has escalated. That is what they professed 2 months ago to us. We burnt excavators, we arrested illegal miners, we put them in jail, and the president today said that was not the way to go. But that is exactly what he is doing now. He said on a campaign platform that he doesn't understand why we were arresting people in the pit and burning excavators, and that he will release them. But that's not what we are seeing today. Illegal mining, as we professed or call it Galamsey, it's a pressing issue of the country, and you and I can testify to the fact of how illegal mining has negatively affected our country. Let's not politicize this particular issue because this is a matter of state concerns. Illegal mining has affected our forests, our water bodies, residents living in areas where illegal mining is going on. Has been diagnosed with diseases of lung cancer, kidney failure, and a lot of things. And so putting politics aside and facing the rod and facing the incident itself, how do we solve illegal mining? Now, Mr. Miracle Abuaje is saying that they tried their best in the previous government. They did very well by burning excavators, arresting people, and then the current government is saying that the burning of excavator during their time is very bad, and that they would scrap or curb illegal mining, and they are doing nothing. Burning of excavators, I want to ask Mr. Miracle Abuaje whether when they burnt excavators, the illegal mining was totally kept before the current government came into power. I want to also ask him, he said they've arrested people. A lot of people has been arrested, and allegedly those people has been released. we heard nothing about them. Aisha One is an example. A Chinese national who came into this country, mined on our land illegally, destroyed our forest reserves, destroyed our water bodies. At the end of the day, she was arrested. A Chinese national who have a Ghana card, a card that identify her as a Ghanaian, whereas some Ghanaians in this country do not have an identification card as a Ghanaian. How did she get that card? Where did she got it from? And today we've not heard anything about Aisha One. And then you come to tell us that your government tried his possible best to scrap to keep the menace. And I said earlier on that we shouldn't politicize this matter when it has to do with illegal mining, because illegal mining is costing us a whole lot. And you will agree with me that the Ghana Water Company Limited some time ago came to tell us that if you're not careful as a country, we will be importing water from other countries just because our water bodies are destroyed to the extent that if care is not taken, we will suffer as a nation. But why do I feel as if we want to politicize this whole issue when it has to do with Galamsey? This is a matter of concern. This is a matter that when it affects me, it affects you. It does not only affect you and leave me behind, because we are all in this country. Our water bodies are destroyed, our forests are destroyed, and then residents are suffering. Instead of us to come together and think about ways to keep illegal mining, you are saying you burn excavators. Did that excavators that you burn solved the issue of Galamsey in Ghana? And come to think of it, that excavators can also be used in doing other things that will benefit the country. But the excavators were burnt. Even during those times, it was alleged that some government officials were involved in illegal mining. After now, we don't know where that incident is still hanging, whether they've dealt with it, whether they've cancelled it. We have no idea. We kept fighting illegal mining with our words, big English, but it looks like we don't even walk our talk. We come out and then we talk about it, and then that ends it. And yesterday I saw a tweet by the current minister designate for lands and natural resources, begging people in the name of God, begging them to stop illegal mining. So how else do you want us to keep announcing, shouting, crying and wailing over illegal mining before such a nuisance act can stop? Illegal mining is costing us a lot. Well, you might be getting your money from it, but do you think about the effect? This is a whole state concerns we are talking about here. And you and I can tell how far we've come with this illegal mining issue. And still illegal mining is still ongoing. How do we keep this menace? How are we going to ensure that such incidents or such matter do not exist again? And as I said, it was alleged that some political leaders are involved into this illegal mining activities, making it very difficult for us to keep it in the country. Then you come to tell me that your government did well by burning excavators. Your government burned excavators. Yes, they did. But ask yourself, did that solve illegal mining in the country? Or has it brought down the rate at which people are mining illegally in the country? We have a lot of nationals, especially the Chinese in Ghana, mining on our forest reserves, mining on our water bodies. How can you go into a foreign land and then start to mine on the land without, being granted the permission of the owner who owns that particular land? So are you trying to tell me that they just jump from the sky and all of a sudden they start to mine on our water bodies? No. It means there is a question mark that we should be asking ourselves. If we as Ghanaians, we will allow ourselves to be controlled by other people. And I know very well that a foreign person cannot come into the land and then start mining if there is no connection somewhere. But one thing I want us to understand is that you might feel you are doing we the citizens, by the end of the day, we are all going to suffer in it. But what pains me a lot is we the citizens are refusing to upgrade ourselves. We are refusing to learn. We are refusing to know that our leaders are working on top of our heads. I mean, they are overusing our brains, and we cannot identify it. You are mining for them, and you don't even get the gold. Where the gold goes, you don't even know. And you are being given a penny, a 10 pesos to buy water, and you are happy. But trust me, at the end of the day, they do not even, go to our healthcare. They don't even go to our health sectors to receive treatment. They go elsewhere, and then we sit here and we suffer. They don't even drink the water you drink here. And trust me, even if shortage of water should happen right now, they will travel abroad. Do you have the visa? Do you have the money? Keep that in mind. If still with all this, you still want to continue with illegal mining, upon all the shouting we are doing, upon everything we are doing, and still you don't want to help us curb illegal mining, then you should continue. Thank you for joining me on Debbie's Grill. Meet me same time tomorrow.
Thank you so much. And that was Debbie's Grill. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless. What do you have for us today?
Okay. So today in history, on March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9 earthquake resulting tsunami struck Japan's northeastern coast, killing nearly 20,000 people and severely damaging the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station. Today in history 2020, cases of novel coronavirus were first detected in China in December 2019, with the virus spreading rapidly to other countries across the world. This led WHO to declare a public health emergency of international concern on 30th January 2020, and to characterize the outbreak as a pandemic on 11th March 2020. In history 2023 is the anniversary of King Moshoeshoe the First in Lesotho. King Moshoeshoe the First anniversary is a public holiday in Lesotho. It is celebrated every year on the anniversary of his death. 2006 today in history. Veronica Michela, a Chilean politician who served as president of Chile from 2006 to 2010 and again from 2014 to 2018, becoming the first woman to hold the presidency. 2004 today in history. Madrid suffered a series of terrorist attacks when 10 bombs detonated by Islamist militants exploded on 4 trains at 3 different rail stations, killing 191 people and injuring some 1,800 others. Moving to some did you know fact for today. Did you know that wearing headphones for just an hour will increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times? Yes, wearing headphones is not bad, but wearing it for more than 30 minutes at a go is bad for the ears. When you put on headphones, you cover your ears from the natural air, which increases production of bacteria by 700% in 1 hour. Your eardrum naturally cannot bear influx of bacteria in that quantity, so it starts to react by paining or hearing loss in the long term. Did you also know that insects like mosquitoes, ticks, and flies are attracted to the feet due to these various reasons? First of all, carbon dioxide. Feet produce more carbon dioxide than any other body parts, which attract insects. And also moving on to moisture. Feet tend to sweat more, creating a humid environment that insects find appealing. Warmth. Feet are often warmer than any other part, making them a cozy spot for insects to land and feed. And lastly, accessibility. Feet are often exposed and more accessible to insects, especially when wearing open shoes or walking barefoot. Did you also know that your right lung takes in more air than your left? Anatomical differences. The right lung has 3 loops, while the left lung has only 2. This gives the right lung more surface area for gas exchange. Positioning. The right lung is positioned slightly higher and more posteriorly towards the back than the left lung, allowing it to expand more during breathing. Did you also know that it's estimated that 80% of adults use an alarm clock during the week to start their day? Did you also know that the earth experiences over 50,000 earthquakes a year? About 50,000 earthquakes large enough to be noticed without the aid of instruments occur annually over the entire earth. Of these, approximately 100 are of sufficient size to produce substantial damage if their centers are near areas of habitation. That is all for today on Today in History. And did you know, with myself, Miss Regina Bless. Join me same time tomorrow for some fascinating facts.
Thank you, Miss Regina Bless. Thank you. What did you say about the headphone? Because I use it a lot. I love
and
using
very, very soon. Because when you use it for 30 to 1 hour, you are generating bacteria. Over 700 bacteria are being.
700.
Yes.
Hey, you can imagine.
It needs natural air. Your ear needs natural air to pass through. So when it's been blocked for 30 to 1 hour.
I don't use it the whole day.
Okay.
At least approximately 1 hour be enough.
And yeah, when you be.
Oh. And I said I was in my hospital.
Yes. And check your ears.
And check my ears.
Even with normal earphones, when you want to increase the volume, they give you a caution. I don't know if with your ear, they give you a caution that you don't have to.
The way Omar is looking at you.
And then so myself, baby, Omar,
why? Madam Omari, why? Do you want to say something?
She's going to restrict us from
Using
very soon you tell us to stop breathing. All right, so there has been a story, and I think that our film, is it the film industry that is responsible for this? I don't know. So Nollywood producer vows to take legal action against Ghanaian TV stations for airing her films without license. And I think this has been a disturbing issue, and then she hasn't been the only producer who has come out to argue the fact that she's going to take legal actions if care is not taken. I think with Kadiri also did the same. So they produce movies and then put them on YouTube. It's not even a day old, and our Ghanaian TV station go to download them and starts airing it for people to watch. Sometimes me, I even get bored because hey, it be data where I take and then you come and show it for people free. What do you think can be done so that we stop having cases like this?
Okay, so you were saying something about the national film industry. You were saying something. Is it their fault? I feel that it's only their fault because these people are not putting any step in place to make sure that we are also being entertained. We are only entertained by these people, this Nigerian people, and their movies are very nice, very nice. And there's this particular TV station. I don't have money for cut, so I won't mention that. This particular TV within seconds of these people posting, then you just go and take. Is it plagiarism? Or it's not plagiarism? And
I think that's copyright.
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright.
It's wrong. How would you feel if you work so hard on a movie where you are supposed to generate revenue from that, and someone just within a minute, a twinkle of an eye, takes that movie and is showing?
What's wrong with that?
It's wrong.
Oh no, come on.
I feel like they should,
Without my permission.
yeah.
There for you.
So I feel like there should be a restriction on if I've produced a movie and I'm posting it on YouTube. There should be a connection between myself and YouTube. That there
Yes.
should be a restriction on my movie. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months before anybody can download it from YouTube. So you can watch it on YouTube, but you cannot download it because it is when you watch that you pay them. When you watch is when you pay them. But when I post a movie, because when I watch it on television, there is no need for me coming to waste my data to watch it, and that's where they generate their revenue.
Money too.
Wait,
so there should be restriction on it.
With what you are saying, I totally agree with you, but in some parts I don't agree with you, because when they are supposed to restrict the download option, you see who bedim, because if you are supposed to use let's say 365 megabytes to download the movie, to download the movie, when you are watching it live, it takes a lot of data than when you download it.
Regina, for your part, I understand, but this is a whole television station
A whole
showing
television
something that
station.
you've used like a whole year to act, and that's where you get your money from. There
At
are some
least,
music
wait to be 1 month old or something.
Yeah, there are some music on YouTube. You want to download it, you can't download it. You can
No,
download
you can't.
it on their YouTube this thing.
Yeah.
But you cannot download, like you try and it won't even download.
It won't even come.
So I feel like there should be some restriction like that on their movies, and their movies too are nice. So
There's
So-
no need for restriction if only the national film industry or authorities will put measures in place to also entertain us. If you are entertaining your own, there's no need for these people to go out there, take other people's content and be showing.
So which also send a signals to us that they should evolve our movie industry. And the movie industry in Ghana is already collapsed. They have to
You
revive
think
it.
you think it's collapsed?
They should revive
Based
it.
on what grounds?
A lot.
A lot, such as
Yeah.
such as
It's okay.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show, on the first segment of the Breakfast Show. Right after the news, Omari and I will be coming with an insightful guest. They are here to give us top-notch conversation. So please don't miss it. Stay tuned.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Daybreak News here on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up in this morning's bulletin, school feeding caterers welcome to Ghana Cedis fee increment, government to reintroduce road traffic amendments bill and drop MP's siren clause, NIB releases former NSA Deputy Director Gifty Owari Mensah, and in some other stories, Bakmin bemoans low female representation in Mahama's cabinet. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awentemi Akansukum. Now, let's settle for the details. The School Feeding Caterers Association has welcomed the government's decision to increase the feeding fee for basic school students from 1 cedi 50 pesos to 2 Ghana cedis, acknowledging it as a step in the right direction, though still insufficient. Finance Minister Dr. Kesel Atofo-Singh, during a social media engagement on March 9, gathered feedback from the youth and media ahead of the 2025 budget presentation. Much 2011. He announced the government's plan to raise the school feeding grant, responding to long-standing concerns from caterers and education stakeholders. Speaking to City News Monday, March 10th, the national president of the School Feeding Caterers Association, Nana Otusechi Amo, expressed appreciation for the increment while urging further improvement. The increment is set to take effect from the third term, beginning April 2025. Now, the Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, NRSA, Abraham Amaleba, has announced the reintroduction of the Road Traffic Regulations Amendment Bill to Parliament within 2 months. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show Monday, March 10th, Mr. Amaleba clarified that the revised bill would focus on introducing spot fines for drivers who violate road traffic regulations, as well as the legalization of Okada commercial motorcycles. It will be recalled that in July 2024, the then government attempted to amend the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180 to include a clause permitting MPs and judges of the Superior Court to use sirens while driving. However, the amendment faced significant public backlash and was ultimately shelved. The reintroduction of the bill, according to the NRSA boss, will be without the controversial provision allowing members of parliament and judges to use siren. He said the move forms part of broader efforts to enhance road safety and streamline traffic regulation enforcement in Ghana. Explaining the timelines for the reintroduction of the bill, Abraham Amaleba said, "Give me 2 months and LI 2180. If it is passed, we will bring into force the spot fine." He further explained that the new bill would include the implementation of a system called Traffic Tag, which will facilitate the enforcement of spot fines for traffic violations. Now, the National Investigations Bureau, NIB, has released Gifty Owari Mensah, former Deputy Director of the National Service Authority, NSA. Owari Mensah was detained in connection with an alleged payroll fraud scandal at the NSA, which involved the creation of ghost names to siphon funds. She was released Saturday, March 8, following her arrest Friday, March 7, 2025. Channel 1 news sources indicate that Owari Mensah would be recalled for further interrogation. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has expressed disappointment with the number of women appointed to the cabinet by President John Dramani Mahama. Speaking at a ceremony to celebrate International Women's Day in Parliament, the Speaker noted that 2 women out of the 19 ministers of state in the cabinet fall short of the 30% requirement outlined in the Affirmative Action Gender Equality Act. He stated that any appointment below the statutory benchmark percentage will not be accepted. We have tarried long enough in passing the bill. Let us not apply the same wishy-washy towards its implementation. I'm not impressed with what I have seen so far with the leadership position of women in Parliament, committees of Parliament, and appointments into senior positions. Even the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection is not a cabinet ministry, he lamented. To our call on leadership, and I'll lead it, they have to consider the reconstitution of leadership in the House. We passed the law, so we have to lead by example. Out of 43 committees in Parliament, only 4 are chaired by women, and out of 19 ministers of state in cabinet, only 2 are women. So why did we spend all the resources and time to pass the law? We have to sit up. Are there? Now, to business, Ghana's economy expanded by 5.7% in 2024, surpassing the revised 3.1% growth rate recorded in 2023. However, growth in the fourth quarter of 2024 slowed to 3.6%, down from the 7.2% in the third quarter, reflecting a loss of momentum despite ongoing economic resilience. The slowdown in quarter 4 was largely driven by weaker growth in the industry sector, which expanded by just 0.2% 9.2%. A significant factor was the sharp contraction in mining and quarrying, which accounted for about 43% of the industry sector's total value. The services sector remained the largest contributor to GDP, representing 49.2% of total output, followed by industry 31.9% and agriculture 19%. At constant 2013 prices, Ghana's oil GDP for quarter 4 2024 stood at 53,137 cedis, while non-oil GDP was 50,262.5 million cedis. In nominal terms, GDP at basic prices reached 308,086.5 Ghana cedis. Now straight to some sport. Kumasi Asante Kotoko Sporting Club head coach Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum has praised the improved security detail of Kotoko's home game following the resumption of the Ghana Premier League, but has called on the Ghana Football Association to maintain the level of security at all GPL centers. He made this call in a post-game interview after seeing Kotoko 2-0 win over Legon Cities at the Babayara Stadium. The game was Kotoko's first since the league's recommencement after a multiple-week suspension that stemmed from Francis Yaopole Frimpong's death. Popular Kotoko fan Pole was stabbed multiple times and died from the wounds when Kotoko played in Nsotreman at Nsotre and violent clashes broke out. He was recently buried, and before the Legon Cities game, Kotoko players paid respect to him. Dr. Ogum was pleased with the improved security at the Babayara Stadium and called for the same level of attention to security to be replicated at all league centers. Kotoko's next match comes off with Samatex on Sunday, March 16th. Now to some showbiz. Renowned Ghanaian gospel group Daughters of Glorious Jesus has announced the dates for their annual outreach program, Glorious Praise. This year's event would feature the trio along with other prominent gospel artists visiting 3 cities, Accra, Kwewu and Kumasi, on April 13th, 20th and 27th respectively. The theme for this year's program is the Golgotha experience, symbolizing the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. According to Cynthia, the group's leader, the Golgotha represents the place where Jesus bore our sins, burdens and anxieties. We aim to relieve this experience, lifting the name of our resurrected King and leaving our obstacles beneath the cross. In addition to their musical outreach, the Daughters of Glorious Jesus have partnered with the Ghana Prison Service to support women in prison at the Nsawam prison. Edna hinted at an upcoming project. We are embarking on an exciting initiative with some women in prison, which would be officially launched during the Accra event. The group is calling on corporate organizations and individuals to support their projects, particularly in completing the holding and rehabilitation center in the female ward at the Nsawam prisons. Monica emphasized, while our events are free, they come at a significant cost. We rely on the generosity of individuals and corporations to make this project a success. With a remarkable 35-year career and 13 albums to their glory, the Daughters of Glorious Jesus remain one of Ghana's most beloved and enduring gospel group. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.ghanatalksradio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukumasi. Thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio with me, Pakwesi Omare, and my beautiful co-host, Esinam. Today is the day, the finale, the grande anticipated, where we all get to listen to the first budget reading of the new administration of the NDC under President John Mahama from the newly appointed Finance Minister, Dr. Kesil Ato-Forsen. But before we go into that, from now till 9:30 a.m., we have with us the revered, a financial veteran. He's been in the financial sector for over 40 years, if I'm not exaggerating. He is a chartered accountant. He is a lecturer. Once a lecturer, always a lecturer. There is no retirement from lecturing, because even today we are going to receive lectures from him. And today he is with us this morning to walk us through the financial maze. The financial maze. I mean, it came at the right time, because today is the budget reading. And personally, we all need budgeting for our lives. Buying shoes and hairs, business opportunities. Like, I mean, all these things that we buy unnecessarily, we need to cut it down. And fortunate for us, we have with us the right man to help us maze through all these things that we need to perfect or stabilize our financial structures as we grow in life. Without much to say, I will humbly welcome in the studios with us this morning, Mr. Che. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, how are you doing?
I can't complain as today is the budget day. Because when you come to finance, budgeting is one of the finances. And when we want financing, we start from finding the money.
Okay.
Planning to find the money.
Okay.
Getting the money. And managing the money.
Wow. So planning
the money,
finding it, getting it, and managing it.
Managing it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And he who fails to plan, plans to fail. And budgeting is what comes first, because that is the planning.
Yes.
And to budget, to me, my description
of
a budget is a comprehensive formal plans.
A comprehensive formal
plans.
Okay.
Expressed in quantitative terms.
Wow.
Of unexpected future operation.
Please, the ICA board, if they are listening to us today, whatever I'm learning here is automatically making me a chartered accountant. So from here, I'm coming for my certificate.
Right, because let's come down to earth.
Yes.
To describe budgeting.
Okay.
Now I met this nice lady here. We walk outside and I said, you know how they talk to you about, yes. So we start off. Let us go and see your parents. Now we are planning for our wedding or our marriage.
Yeah.
Let us go and see your parents. And then going to see your parents, what do we need? We need 4 bottles of Shinap. 2 bottles of wine, and
1 bottle of Guinness.
Yes. So we mention them and we write them down, the amounts.
Yeah.
Right. After seeing your parents, what next? We are going to go and see the officiating minister. So the officiating minister will decide how much we should bring to this, what do you call it?
The church.
The church. Meanwhile, she is also going around looking for her dress.
Gown.
Yeah. Anyway.
All dress be dress.
Yes. So when she comes, she'll come with an amount. You see? So we have been to see the parents. We have been to see the church. She's got her gown. She's arranged with all her bridesmaids. I have also arranged with my groomsmen.
Groomsmen, yeah.
Yes. So I go to will go to my groomsmen and say, well, are we coming in boxer shorts alone or a full suit? Then we decide how much it's going to cost. So we put it down. Her bridesmaids, how much are they going to cost? When it comes to their dressing.
Yes.
Now we move on to the wedding day.
Yes.
What is going to happen, what is going to happen, how much is going to cost, the limousine and all those things. And as well as the reception. So we put all these together.
Yes.
In qualitative terms.
Okay.
And then we come to quantify it by putting amounts against them.
Okay.
You see, so it's a comprehensive formal plan towards our marriage.
Okay.
That has been quantified.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we know how much it's going to cost us, whether it's going to be traditional wedding or
white wedding.
White wedding.
Okay.
You see, so today is a budget day.
Yes.
Now, what the Minister of Finance is going to do is to come up with his comprehensive formal plans when it comes to, say, infrastructure.
Yes.
Hospitals to be built, roads to be constructed, schools, new taxes coming in, new taxes being pulled out, any source of funding, all these comes in. He's coming. What I said earlier on about myself and the lady is when we are starting.
Yeah.
Right. But when it started, for instance, MPP left office recently.
Yes.
Yes. So in fact, it's MPP's budget that is being used to run the country
so far
till the end of March.
Okay.
You see, so as soon as the end of March, as soon as reading the budget comes in, then it will be approved by Parliament. So from the 1st of April, then the NDC
takes
over, budget takes over. So normally, that is why in November of every year, there is a mini budget. Whereby the first quarter, this January to March,
will be planned for
and approved by Parliament, so that when another party comes over, it takes and implements that type of budget.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. So as we are moving on with the mazing through finances, as a financial literate yourself, whom you've come in contact with so many people, do you think as a people we are very much inclined with financial planning?
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Yes, but I wouldn't say no. Because when let's look at it from this angle.
Yes.
If I'm going to farming,
and
I know that at the end of the day, I want 14 acres.
Yeah.
And the 14 acres of maize, how much is it going to cost me?
Okay.
You see, I plan. How much is it going to cost me? And if I go in, how much is it going to how much am I going to make out of it?
Okay.
Am I going to make any profit out of it before I go in? For instance, only nowadays, if you ask me anything on TikTok that I don't know of, then I spend most of my time on TikTok. And you know, this mango tree.
Yes.
Mango tree.
Yeah.
Now, our people, the short men like us, they have developed it to such an extent that the mango tree, they just put in watermelon seed
in the mango tree.
In the mango tree. And then you get mango and then the watermelon.
All on one tree.
All on one tree. So I call this agriculturist friend of mine.
Yeah.
You remember I did some things in the house recently.
Yes, please.
And he said about it, but the issue is who will let you come and do this on his farm? Because we've got a lot of mango farms at the Krobo area.
So many to
who will let you come and do it? Because research hasn't gone further.
Okay.
The effects it will have on his mango and your watermelon. And you know one thing that is killing this our country is partnership.
Okay.
It is partnership. That is you and I getting together to do something. Oh, we will sit down and talk nicely. But when money comes in, then the whole thing. So imagine investing. Investment is also part of the financing.
Yeah.
So investing so much into such a venture, and then at the end of the day, when money comes, we split, and then we have got to start all over again.
Okay.
Only a few businesses, if you notice in this country, only a few businesses. Even Kwame Despite and his brother, what is his other, Doctor something.
Yeah. No, it's not Samuel, please.
Anyway, when the name comes up,
the special eyes man.
Yeah. You see, they are brothers, but they say despite group of companies.
Yeah.
Everybody is running his own thing. Everybody is running it's a separate entity from each other. But you think they say they always Oforisapong, the brother Oforisapong and Kwame Despite, they say that, yes. They are not in partnership. Everybody is doing his own thing. You see, so back on track, the asking of whether we plan as individuals.
Yeah.
So as I use this one as an example of going to
farming.
The farming. Yeah. Now let us take my auntie who works who has got a shop at Okanshi. She plans. She plans. One, should I go to Togo to bring the goose? Should I go to China to bring the goose? Or should I stay here for them to bring and I buy? That is a deciding factor. You will take into consideration how much is it going to cost me if I do have to go to China. What are the risks involved? I may be mocked down there. That is, people, pickpockets will get hold of my money.
Yeah.
Yes. So why take that risk? Why don't I stay here? You bring it, and then I plan. And as I was saying, TikTok. You know what these girls are doing nowadays? They go on Amazon.
Okay.
And then they search for what is
trending.
What is trending. And then because Amazon and there's other Chinese people, yes, they can tell you if you order now, we will be able to arrive in Ghana in 2
weeks or
3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the ladies will go and put. No, the reason why I'm asking is somebody came. She's a student at Lagos now.
Okay.
She came to me asking me to let her get into this. So I asked her, what are you going to order to sell? She said ladies' panties. and like joke, she puts them in her bag. You know, get ladies' panties. Yeah, there's something make that small thing at the back. This string and the normal ones. I didn't know there are boxer shorts for women. I didn't know.
The knicker panties.
I haven't put one down before, so I wouldn't know. I don't want it to be boring. That is why. Yes.
Yeah, that's actually fine.
And do you know why she came? She came 3 days. 3 days to the. She came 3 days before reopening.
Okay.
And this time, one of her colleagues has done the ordering.
Yeah.
So now she ordered it from the colleague. You know how much I gave her to start off?
No.
1,500.
Okay.
Now, how many months have they been to school now?
In
It's
3
about
months.
3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
You know how much it brought back to me
No.
from my pocket? 1,000.
Wow. You have some here.
Eh?
You have some. the 1,000. You have some here.
Why are you bothered
I'm
about
just asking.
Oh yes, I have some of the 1,000.
Okay.
Turned into paper. I've already turned it into a tissue. You see, so this is how one can find money.
Okay.
It's not always that you get someone to fund you.
Yes.
Do you know this coconut husk?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you know coconut,
Yeah.
no part of the coconut is thrown away.
Wow.
You buy the coconut, you cut it, you drink the water. You open it, you eat the pulp.
Yeah.
Now you know the cock. Oh.
Is it the hacks?
The hard copy.
Yeah.
The hard copy.
The hacks.
You know you can turn it into button.
Okay.
The button.
The
Yes,
ones that
this
we
button.
use on our shirts.
Yes,
Really?
Wow.
yes. All you have got to do is get it out of the husk. And then, even nowadays it's going to be easy because we have these things to play. So to make it smooth. And when it's made smooth, you just put the holes. You put the 4 holes in. And here you have something to sell.
Yeah.
And look at the coconut husk. Every junction in Accra, here, they are selling coconut.
They are selling
Yeah.
coconuts.
And what do they do? You see that it's piled up that way. So why don't you go and pack them and start doing something like this? Why don't you go to say East Legon? Because every junction at East Legon, they sell coconut.
They sell
Coconuts,
coconuts.
yes.
When you go to Keshi, Nungwa, the
Yeah.
fishmongers,
Yeah.
put them on a abubuya. It's free. You collected it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it and sell it. You just sell it the minimum to pay off your abubuya and plus some 10 cedis. Now continue adding up the 10 cedis, 10 cedis, 10 cedis. How much will you? It's 50 cedis Monday to Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
You chop 20 cedis and keep the 80 cedis. Within 2-3 months, you have made money
Yeah.
to start off your business.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now that you know you have got your business, then you plan your the management of the money. And one of the things that kills us or makes businesses go down is record keeping.
Okay.
That is managing the finances.
Managing the finance.
You budgeted for it, you've gotten it, you are in it. Doing the business.
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to manage it?
Okay.
Typical Ghana man, soon as the money starts coming, you see that every lunchtime he will move. You know exactly where I'm going to, where he's going to. And he wouldn't go alone.
You will find that nice girl too.
Oh no, I normally go with men because that's what a man will always. Have you ever seen how many women take men to lunch? Perhaps you do it today.
Oh, I actually do.
Oh, you do?
Hey.
Yeah.
Aren't he lucky? Right, and that is how he starts.
Okay.
I remember when I was a kid, secondary school days,
Yeah.
long back.
Yes.
We come to our grandparents.
Yeah.
And you know those days, kwawu shops or kanshi.
Yeah.
Not today that when you go to a kanshi, you can find a place to put your foot. We'll get there by 6:30. Move what we pack into the shop. And then when we go in the morning, we are going to unpack them all.
Okay.
Now, in the meantime, the old boy is sitting behind the counter
Yeah.
inside. And then the Ghana woman selling bread.
Yes.
They put the egg into the bread, put what do you call it? Tomatoes, salad leaves. It's not nowadays that it's so expensive. They will come. Mami, Sonia Mako. If we get some, we'll trouble.
Yeah.
Now the next woman, I wouldn't mention the tribe, will stop the lady and take it, buy some with a cup of tea.
Okay.
And those days, you know the Milo.
Yes.
The Milo, this thing,
Cup.
yes.
Shining one.
Exactly. And gallop it. Meanwhile, we are walking around hungry. You see how when somebody is eating and you are not eating.
It just irritates you.
The hunger doubles. She hasn't sold anything. Yesterday's what she sold yesterday.
Is what she's eating from today.
Yes. And since then, I learned for myself. I will never spend or give you a penny or spend a penny if I do not know where the next penny is coming from.
Wow. So you believe that one of the ways for us to maze through our finances is to spend on first budgets, and secondly, spend mostly when we know we are getting a replacement for what we are spending.
Or what we are spending.
Precisely.
Okay.
You plan, you go into it, and definitely when you go into it, you have put money in. So if the money hasn't come, why are you going to spend chop your profits?
Okay.
And you hear most often you say working capital and asset. There's no working capital.
Yes.
You know what that means?
No.
The shop is overstocked.
Okay.
Oh, this woman has come from Japan. She's brought these goods. I'll buy some. This man has brought these goods. I'll buy some. So you go to the shop is full. But when the people come to ask for their monies, she hasn't got them. Which means she is over trading.
This is
Okay.
GhanaTalks breakfast show.
Because
Your
you
morning
all need
companion.
what you need most, which is part of management.
Yeah.
It's a working capital.
Okay.
Because you buy the goods, you sell the goods, you get the cash, you go and pay those who have to pay, and you go and buy some more goods, pay your admin expenses, salaries and all those things.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you don't plan your working capital very well, there will come a time there'll be goods full of shop full of goods,
Okay.
but you're not making any money
Yeah.
because as soon as you sell, somebody come and collect it. So you cannot do your 20-20-60. Remember I spoke to you about the 20-20-60.
60 years.
Well, I don't know about that.
Right. Now, if you are and the apportionment depends on you. Let's say you get 100 CDs.
Okay.
Make 100 CD sales today. Put 60 CDs one side. The 60 CDs that you are going you put aside is to go and buy some more.
Okay.
To replace it. Now, why do we keep money? We keep money, one, for transactive purposes. Precautionary precautionary measures, and then when it's come to future.
Yeah.
Saving.
Yes. These are the three main reasons why we keep money.
Okay.
So the 60 is for transactive. The speculative 20 and emergency. There's an accounting word instead of emergency.
Emergency, okay.
Speculative.
Okay.
Something that you don't expect.
Yeah, but it might happen.
Yeah.
That's happened. You get home. They say you're taking your wife to the hospital to deliver a baby, and if you haven't saved, you haven't put that 20 aside, you'll be stuck.
Yeah.
Because all the money we've changed into tissue paper. You see, so you put your 60 down, you go and buy. So every day, so imagine saving 20 CDs a day.
A day.
A week. Yeah, I normally work a 5-day week.
Yeah. So you
20
have about 100 CDs
That's 100 CDs.
every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Times 4 weeks.
That's about
That's
400
400.
CDs.
400 a month.
A
Yeah.
month.
Times 12. 4,800.
Yeah.
Times 10. So by the time you get out of business, you have saved enough
Enough.
for your future.
Wow.
Now I keep on telling people, forget about building, because if you build, it's not an investment. If you build
Yeah.
to rent it, that is the time it is an investment.
Okay.
Okay, so you build for
The
you
house.
to rent it out to people. That is when it becomes an investment.
People say I invested in my house. You haven't invested anything.
But I was thinking that if you build the house, the money that you are supposed to be using it to pay rent can be saved somewhere. So I was thinking that was your investment.
Yeah, no. But for how long will you get that investment? Now, today's budget. But I heard people talking about e-levy,
Yeah, the COVID-19 and the
betting tax and all those things. You see, I kept listening and ask myself the question. This is how you can manage your finances. And this is where your monies are coming from to manage your finances. So you come to read it out in the budget. We all hear about it. So far as I'm concerned, I'm waiting. If they withdraw, if they withdraw e-levy,
COVID-19 and the betting tax.
Yes, I don't have the actual figures of how much a year that these taxes comes in. Right. But unless you know where you are going to get some to replace them, then don't touch them. After all, we are used to it.
Yes.
Okay.
We are used to it.
Okay.
So if you are coming, come with something that is going to even generate more income than what you are
scrapping.
Yes. That is when you can have all your budgets and your promises fulfilled. You see.
Okay. So, there is this concerning financial challenge for most young people, but mostly it comes in two different directions. In the sense that we believe that our environment is not friendly with us in our expenditure or regarding our expenditure. For instance, most often when I'm having a conversation with you, you draw this line with the credits measures which is being experienced outside Ghana, which we don't have here.
Yeah.
Who says we don't? We have.
People
But
work
it's
hourly for money.
it hasn't been popularized.
You remember? I don't want to make it political.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Baumia said he's come with credit score.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what the credit score is all about.
But I actually know that even MTN,
Yeah.
They do these things. You can go for a phone and then you pay with
Yeah.
time. But it's not something that we've actually really popularized here. So it hasn't been a mainstream policy
Yeah.
for us as a country.
As a country,
Yes.
we are illiterate when it comes to finances.
Great.
Talking about finances,
Great.
we are all illiterates. You go to Parliament House today and see the number of people who they will be sleeping, not knowing what is going on in there. You see, when I used to be at Gimpa,
Yes.
I'll tell you something. The retreat that they went to recently that got some say they are going to this hotel.
Yeah.
I remember when President Kufuor in the first term,
Yes.
when they came there, we take them through financial management, human resources, and all sorts of management. In fact, that was the aim of the establishment of GIMPA.
Okay.
In the past, when you go into the government, public or civil service, after training in internal orientation, you come to GIMPA for 3 months
Okay.
for diploma in administration.
In administration.
Because you got a first degree.
Okay.
Because perhaps you may have done zoology, and now they take you to the passport office. There are no monkeys there.
There are no.
You see, so you come there, you are trained in management. When you get to your directors, to move into a director's position, you come again, and you come your diploma. So you come first certificate, and then diploma.
Diploma.
We are taught about, we teach them all this corruption.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we teach all about corruption.
Corruption.
Not how to do it,
Okay.
but how to prevent it
Okay.
or mitigate it.
Okay.
I remember when I used to work somewhere, somebody who is very, very important now came with I was a chairman of a tender committee.
Yeah.
We finished. We were just about. I was about to sign the contract.
Okay.
A very big, huge contract too. If I mention the offer he gave to me, you realize that it should be a big one. $2,000.
Wow.
Wow.
You know how these dollars, when they come, they are flesh.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
fresh.
Flesh, not like Ghana City. Ghana City, I looked at him and I asked him, what am I going to do with the money? Now, I had my credibility at stake. Why should I do it? And in fact, it all started when I was at the district assembly. Remember, I was an assemblyman.
Yes, please.
I was in the NDC government, MPP government, and the government appointee. So I served quite a lot of.
Yeah.
When you come to my house, you see the frontal of you see the stones.
Yeah.
I had them too. Those days, 200. Today's 200 cities as S-Gracia.
Oh, okay.
So I said to myself, to remember my service at I used
the
it
district assembly.
as a district assembly.
Okay, you used it for that.
I was also works and housing.
Mhm.
You know, I was from finance, and you see, when they want to get you out of the system,
Oh.
they put you somewhere. I said, I don't mind. And then, so out of the blue, these schools, toilets, were could you bounce time?
Mm.
They build the schools and then they put something like gay colors.
Is it the HIPIC?
Aha! Yes.
Gay colors.
You know their colors, don't you? Or you don't know?
I do.
Then the contrast started coming. I said, this is my top task. As the chairman, now I'm going to discipline these people. Because in reality, a lot of people don't know my political allegiance.
Yeah.
But I'm a politician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this man came. He came with, you know, when you've done accounting before,
Yeah.
you know forged accounts. You see how
Yeah,
you see.
you see.
Wow. So and I normally take them home so that I get time. All
To
those
examine it.
bidders.
Yeah.
You see how big sometimes they are.
Yeah.
But I just look at the financial side. And so this man, he was the favorite. And he was winning. And then I punched a hole.
Mm.
He has inserted a 3 years ago snitch.
Mm.
You know, you have to come with snitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 3 years ago. So the final, this thing, you know me, as for me, I see it, I tell you what it is. Mr. Massa, the thing, this one here, you know, go. No, meanwhile, he's gone 3 times. So.
Wow.
So on the very morning that we are going to the meeting, he came with 800 CDs, equivalent now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said so. Also, chairman, TB Kofi. We went to the meeting. After opening prayers, I said, before we go to the main business for the day, Mr. X has brought to me 800.
Wow.
So these are everybody.
Take some.
Then I walk out.
Oh, God.
And you know we were 9, and he came with 8.
8.
So in the end, did I get some?
No.
Now, who can walk out and come and tell me he's giving me bribe?
Yeah.
As we shared it,
Yeah.
and still he didn't win. Not knowing it was the DCE then. He's dead now. He's the lead.
No, okay.
So I can mention his name.
His name.
So in the end, the chief came in.
Mm.
And then the chief executive of commissioner, he came in and said, "Oh, Kofi, this is my contract."
Wow.
And he knew that he wasn't surprised at all when he went there. Next time you go to a Ekropon, you see there's the old what do you call it? Assembly. Yes, before they move to the other side. In front of it, you see there's this mighty building. I started a 2-man campaign that we blocked that building. And as I predicted, that is how it is.
It is.
It's just a cathedral.
Yeah.
You don't have the funds, but because they knew they can chop inside,
They
wanted
said he
to
went.
I said, there's no way it's going to happen.
Mm.
You see, so if you are in business
Yeah.
and you are not truthful to yourself, obviously, you will not get anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine going to pay bribe. It means your profits that you are going to make, you've chopped some already. You may not have money to replace it.
Yeah.
Your goods have arrived at the harbor.
Yeah.
The point.
You have got to pay duties. Now you are going to pay a duty and a bribe. How are you going to move forward?
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I know our time is drawing closer, but as a young person, and I know most of them are listening to us, looking at our minimum wage per se, or our earnings in this country, how do we maze through with savings and investments? First of all, what is savings? And secondly, what is investment? And as a young man who wants to build my financial capacity, let's say in the next 10 years, which should I go for? A savings or the investment. Capital?
And in addition to that, some of the factors or things you need to consider before you invest, or if someone wants to invest into your business.
Right. Okay. Now, when you're talking about business, it means let's take a limited liability company.
Okay.
That's well established.
Yes.
The Ghana Commercial Bank, Agric Bank, and what you've got to look at first is the liquidity of the company that you are going to invest in.
Okay.
And when I talk about liquidity, I'm talking about your assets less your liabilities. And then if I'm going to we have current assets. That can be turned into cash within 12 months.
Okay.
And then you have your liabilities, what we call the current liabilities, the current assets that you have got to satisfy within 12 months. Now, to determine if the liquidity of the firm is solid, you have got to get two current assets against one. And that is how and why the banks were shut down. But because for the banks, they add the long-term liabilities as risk. They borrow from the Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
So if they do they take your current assets, current liabilities, and then come to add the long-term liabilities. So the people have put money in there. So for it not to go, they will. Oh, by the way, I hear that man is out. The bank manager. What the name of that is bank? The Minnesota Bells Bank.
Is it Capital Bank?
Something like that. Anyway, that is it. You see, so you have got to look at the liquidity of the bank that you are going to invest in.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the liquidity, then you look at solvency. The solvency is you take away stocks. And when we talk about stocks in share bank, is what they buy and sell, which is treasury bills and all those things. Because if they are not the goods are not saleable, nobody will buy. So I'm going to invest in it. Then I'll make sure that I'm evaluating the bank.
Okay.
I'll take away the stocks. So I'll be looking at your debtors and your cash against your liabilities. And if it's 1-to-1, then you are in safe hands.
Okay.
Because if they don't buy your stocks at all, I can come and take them and go. Don't come.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when it comes to the treasury bills, we have got in the investment, we have got the short term, medium term, and then the long term.
Okay.
Right. The long term are those bonds. I want my money back in 20 years. So I put it in there. And now there I'll be getting my interest
on
on the amount every year.
Okay.
And then I have the option of say, okay, 100,000. I make 1,000. So I ask my financial guy, put the 1,000 interest back in.
Okay.
Back in. So 100. Next year will be 101. The next one will be 121, 131, on and on and on. So that by the time you calculate the years, so in reality, you will know from the onset how much
you are going to
get. Because with the bonds, the interests are fixed.
Okay.
So whether government go, government come.
It's only
a champon. So we are too young to have heard about a champon. We had a leader in this country.
Yeah.
When he came on, we have sold all these bonds. That are now is our problem.
Yeah.
He came and said,
He's not going to pay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so too, he didn't pay.
Yeah.
He and in return, he says if people do, let us do. So we started Operation Feed Yourself. Everybody has a garden.
Yeah.
And eventually, when he was overthrown, one of the accusations is open mouth to relax women. So he asked them, if you have a farm, go to get a garden. You see, so and then you come to the medium term.
Okay.
Which is from 5, and then you come to the short term. Then this is what we call propensity to save.
Okay.
What motivates you
To save.
to save? You see,
Okay.
you have got to plan for it. That in next year I'm going to get married.
Okay.
So this is where I'm going to put my finances to make it. So if you are a student and you're going to school, you are Legon.
Yeah.
You know what you want to do after. You don't want to go and serve every. Have you noticed all learned people are poor? When you go to Legon campus, they all got beard because they can't afford to buy blade.
Oh, come on.
And come to town, you see yourself sapon, you are clean shaved. Yes. You see, so you can start doing your 60-20-20.
Yeah.
Instead of going to eat 10 cedis of gobe. Sometimes I see people eat and say, hey, is this man?
Him. He's a suspect.
He's lying.
Anyway, I haven't seen him eating.
Really?
I don't eat.
It's because you're not always with him. I'm here with him 247.
Master.
No, well.
If you see the chief, you can see.
You can tell.
Yeah. So that is the time to start saving.
Yeah.
You remember when we were kids? They say money box.
Yes. Super.
Yes.
Yeah, Susu box.
Yeah.
Now why is it? Because you have made your expenditure is more than your income.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
But those days, when you go to school, when they give you money and some is left, you come and put it into your money box.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody taught you. We never thought that is savings, and that is the way you can save.
But no, it's very understandable in how you are articulating it to us. But for instance, let's say I take 1,000 cedis a month.
Okay.
My transportation in the month from house to work is taking, let's say, half of my salary. And then let's say my feeding and
upkeep.
That's taking about, let's say, 300 cedis.
Okay. That is 800.
800 come. And then the 200. Let's say emergency happens, so it takes some, or family support. Maybe you have a sister or a kid that you even look after.
Or even tight.
Like
what?
Tight.
For what?
Church.
Don't go there. Don't take me there, cry. It's good we are getting to.
But looking at
let me put it right before. Now, the pastor is telling you that when you do these things, you go to heaven. Meanwhile, the pastor is building his heaven on earth. Anyway, go on.
So, looking at this expenditure from my revenue earning in a month, how is it? How possible is it going to be for me to even save? In this context, do we say that our environment hasn't made it conducive for us to find saving attractive or convenient?
Or make it a habit?
It's the way you put it right, conducive.
Yeah.
Because how many people have you had saved and bought a car out of it?
Your morning companion.
No.
None.
You see, but that is what we have got to do. Now you see these susu markets, these cooperatives coming in, banks that they are coming.
Yeah.
That is where you got to go and save,
Okay.
so that at least you can borrow.
Okay, and then repay.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That will enable you to live according to your size.
Wow.
You see,
Wow.
that is what the credit scoring is.
Okay.
Now we have got the system in place that you can be tracked. If you come to buy, somebody is owing someone. Now I'm talking.
Yeah.
Now there's a facility that we can track him by his telephone. Wherever he is, we can track him.
Yeah.
You see, so now if you go to the bank and you say you borrow and you run away, you'll be tracked down.
You'll be tracked down.
Yes, and if you go to change your what do you call it, your SIM card, your ID card is the same.
Yes.
So you cannot run away.
Okay.
You see, so if that is understood, and then the interest rates are what do you call it?
Friendly.
Friendly.
Yeah.
You see, because if the bank is going to lend you. When you are saving there, and you want a loan, there will be your savings will not be touched.
Okay.
But if they are going to give you 10%, they will charge you 12% interest on what you have borrowed.
Okay.
Right. So it means it's costing you 2% because you are getting 10%.
Yeah.
And now all these banks are using treasury bills as collateral.
Oh.
So if you've got a 90-day treasury bill and you want to borrow for 90 days, you go in there, you borrow, and then when it matures, you take your treasury bill back.
Okay.
See, so and as I see, partnership doesn't work amongst us. For instance, all your office now.
Yeah.
You see how our susu system works.
Yes.
Those who collect the susu.
Yeah.
But that's the best system. But why should everybody collect then 1 week they give to the collector? You see, the collector earns more than you. Because if we are 5, we are 5. Everybody is contributing. Everybody's 10 cedis, 10 cedis, 10 cedis. At the end of the week, the collector who comes round to collect, he's going to take 10 cedis of mine, 10 cedis of yours, and 10 cedis of his, and 10. So he's got 40 cedis. How many do you get? We also got 40 cedis because your 50 cedis has come of it. You see?
Okay.
So if that could be done, and not collected by someone, or even collected by someone, paid into a bank. Now you go to the bank, you tell them to do a direct debit from your account into this you and your people's susu account. There and then, even the bank will give you interest on it. And if you want to withdraw them, just like they do, you say on every quarter, you put it in. You say buy 90 days treasury bills for us. So after the 90 days, when it matures, you take it.
Yeah.
That's like the normal susu. Then another, he takes it. if it's still going to take 1 year to get it bad, you'll be something, you know. Yeah. So this is how the youth can come together to see. And we cut our coat according to our size.
Sometimes it's not we not cutting the according to. Sometimes the sizes they give to us, no matter what you do.
do you know? The other day I was asking myself, so if I die,
yes,
now,
yeah,
where's my abusia? Because since I've been back for almost 30 years now,
yeah,
I realized that where we waste money is funerals, weddings, outdoorings, child naming.
Naming ceremonies.
Now, Tutu, you know, when I go to, if I know you very well, then in the early morning, 7 o'clock, before you are covered, I just come and pay my last respect.
yeah.
And then I go home. If I'm not able to make it, then when they've come back from the cemetery,
Yeah.
then I'll do you see how they sit down,
Yeah.
this way, that way, and then you exit.
So you greet them and then you.
Then you leave.
I leave. Me months I walk around. No, me months I want me who about me say me who. You see, and after that they will go and sit down under a canopy. The canopy too is black, and the sunshine, sitting down there, waiting for food, and it will come the rough full of smoke.
Unless that one is the nutritious one.
The jollof.
The smoky jollof.
The smoky one. Oh, then come to my kitchen. Yeah, they cook it with wood, firewood. Yeah, so it goes in there. And then the drink. I mean, and you end up with death. You know, I'm yet to hear Fanny. We, the four of us, my brothers and three brothers and 2 brothers and 1 sister, we are the only people who organize a funeral and made money. Yes.
How did you do it?
Magic.
What's the magic?
Yes. Because the people we know know the type of things that we do.
Okay.
And my father's wife, she still owes. She even has to go and sell the house.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, on the way, I could see my father's, this big billboard. Oh, I'll knock it down. Oh, I'll knock it down. What was the purpose? The man is dead. He doesn't know. He doesn't see. Even if I would say I did not come to go to his funeral, he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Me, I've told my kids, why bother coming? Because when they come, then they see, hey, you beyond bogus. Unnecessary. I remember when my mother died, Tutu.
Yeah.
They said, you have to pay this, you have to pay this, you have to pay this. Then I said, our mother comes from here. We will come from home. Take your body, we are going. You see, and these are the type of encumbrances that comes your way.
Okay.
Friday or Thursday is the 17th of the month.
Yeah.
And you have got to go to a funeral on the 22nd. And how are you going? So that's where the temptation comes in. Put on weight. Put weight on your whatever you want me to do. That's mainly the public services.
Okay.
You see. So if you are a youth and you are in there, and then you are stuck, you start doing that. And you start gradually, I'll do it for this only today. Then it builds up. It builds up. It builds up. If you don't go to the funeral, would they see you? The dead person see you didn't come. If you don't go to the wedding, would have saved the money. You tell okay, I just wanted you to save your money. That is why I didn't come.
Sometimes it boils down to the relationship you have with the person.
This
Mostly,
is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
People believe, especially those raised traditionally, believe that the human currency is somewhat much more important than you valuing or pricing this money currency ahead of the people around you. So we tend to pay more attention or give reverence to the people in our lives. So if the person is holding a ceremony, you feel like your presence is at least that much important to the person there than, you know, just say, no, I want you to save your money to feed me, so I won't come. The perception it creates is somewhat something that we normally tend to.
Now, excuse me, I won't come. I'll bring you the money.
Okay.
That's what I normally do.
Okay.
I won't come. Because if I come, let's say I'm going to give you 100 Ghana. If I come, I'm going to drink, my drink you may not have. So knowing the type of drink I drink, you'll be compelled
to get you some of that.
Exactly. Which means you have overspent. I'm living with debt. So why?
Okay. Okay.
If I can't afford to buy a drink, that's the time. Now you know what the women do. Some of the women do. They go with flask.
So they
pour
some of
the drinks in there.
Okay.
You see, food. Unless Pa, he can satisfy himself with that's two plates. That's two plates. You see, to me, there's hope for the youth.
Okay.
Provided that they take the right attention.
Okay.
Now, all these developed countries, they started from industrialization.
Okay.
You know, Malaysians came to take palm trees from here to their country.
And now they are the leading.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the white man says our palm oil is not good. So we shouldn't, it gives you cholesterol, it gives you... You know what they tell us that? The oil that they bring, if you put into your car to run the car, it's industrial oil.
Wow.
So why can't we do our... we have got shea nut butter. We've got groundnut oil, palm oil, coconut oil. These are the things we have got to eat.
Okay.
But the white man, because he wants to sell this to you, he says...
He debunks yours.
Exactly.
Makes us...
Yeah. I'm now not feeling well, and now the drug that they have given to me, I can feel my stomach bulging.
Wow.
Yeah, because when they say before meals, meanwhile they did not give me money to buy the meals. And I have to take them 6 different types with water. So as soon as the water gets in there, then the stomach is full.
So you can't eat.
I can't eat.
Okay.
You see, I mean, the hope is there.
Okay.
Let us get into agriculture.
Okay.
Not in Kukwankitinkitu.
Agriculture.
Itself. That say Ekunfi. You know, there's a lot of the whole area is
yes,
pineapple.
Yeah.
Now Palugo or whatever in the north. Palugo. Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So we have a tomato factory.
Yes.
We have a combi. There used to be a combi factory here in Ghana. We had a Ghana made fridges, Ghana made Akasanma TV, radios. We had all of them.
Oh.
You see, so if we go into, then we can, industries will come in, and we also will tell the white man there that his oil and car engine oil. We don't want it anymore because the palm oil is better for you. Then we export.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there's been a comment that I want to read to you. One of our listeners is saying that he likes your submission this morning. He's been very educative, but he is pleading that the youth, we have the hunger for this industrialization you are talking about, but the support is not there. So if you can advocate for support for some of the youth, then we as a media also champion it for them to come for these supports, so that, because he says that reading that they can track us, then we can actually come, if they will give us the financial support, and they should track us so that we can't run from the money, but we'll come back and pay.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
But you cannot go and stand in front of your bank manager and tell him, Master, give me 10,000.
Yeah.
You just look at your face and say, are you all right?
Are you?
So what you have got, first of all, we've spoken about planning.
Yeah.
So you got to go with your budget for what you are going to do.
Sure.
It will take you so many months to get your say let's say corn, maize to come.
Yes.
So within that period, you need a financing.
Yeah.
And then when we come to harvest, then you start paying because we've got what we call moratorium period.
Yeah.
The moratorium period, you pay only interest, the interest, and then after the period, that's the time you start to pay off your capital. You see, so if you go, it's going to take me 6 months for my produce to go get into the market. So say, give me 9 months. I want a loan for 9 months.
Yeah.
The 6 months will be the moratorium period.
Okay.
Right. And this is how my cash will be flowing in.
Okay.
In the month of sale, I'm going to get 90% of the sales because it's not I'm doing business.
Yeah.
So if I sell 100 CDs, I'm going to collect 90 CDs. 10 CDs will be in debtors because they wouldn't pay in the month that I sold.
Yes.
So come the following month, I'll sell another 100.
Yeah.
I'll collect 90, and then the 10 from last month will come.
Okay.
Until at the end of the season or until the end of the sales. And even after the end of the sales, I have some people who haven't paid me yet.
Okay.
So I can also always turn it. But the fact that I say you have access to the funds doesn't mean. You see, so, and that is why we exist. Somebody came all the way from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because some years back I taught the son.
Okay.
Now he wants to start his own business.
Oh wow.
And he came with the son. I couldn't recognize the son. I met him at the university.
Okay.
I met them. And then he said, so this thing is so simple. I said, yes. If you want your life to be complicated, it's your own life. You see, I am there. Okay. Even anybody who wants to get in touch with me can come through you.
Sure.
We can do. Now, I'm going to open a studio like this in my house.
Wow, that would be great.
In fact, had you told me that this is what we are doing, I would have asked you to bring it to Tutu.
Wow.
Because I've got a space.
Yeah.
My garage is bigger than this whole place.
Yeah.
And then the backyard. You see, so these are the type of things you have got to do. You have got to engage not accountants alone. You have got to engage lawyers, engineers, estate developers.
They know how.
People with the know-how.
Okay.
People who have the know-how.
Okay.
So that you get, and as you grow,
yes,
you can even one day organize
This is
a
Ghana
forum.
Talks
A forum,
Breakfast Show.
yes.
Your
We
morning
are actually looking at
companion.
that.
Yeah, and then bring in a panelist of all different
Fields.
fields. They sit in there, you talk.
Judiciary, finance, engineering.
Exactly.
Okay,
You see, so that they talk and then people listen and then they get in.
sure.
You see, now they are the youth are now versed or used to listening to Peace FM. Where they say that woman who brings them for them to come and tell their stories.
Antenna.
Antenna. I mean, what do I get out of it?
It's something. Anyways, I think it has been very educative and insightful. Is there any other thing? Before he was coming, you had so many things you wanted to tell him. Also. Now that he's here, I'm giving you the platform.
When I talk about our wedding, put it back.
See, you have a sugar daddy. So.
But you know sugar daddies are the best.
Really?
Please.
If they are not married, that's fine. But if they are married, then that's a red flag for me.
That's a red flag for you.
Yes.
Then I'm single and available.
So, sir, please, your final words before we leave.
Before your final words, yeah. So, as a business owner, is it always advisable that you put in back your profits into the business, or you have to demarcate it, as you said, with the 60, 20, 20, you save some, you put some into the business. Which one works better?
No, the 60, 20, 20. The proportionate depends on you.
So when you get the profits, you divide it into that proportion.
That proportion. It can be 91.
Okay.
90 to 10.
Okay.
80 to 20. Yeah, but I find it convenient
If it's the 60
because at least
20.
if you are in business and you're not making more than 40% net profit, forget gross profit, forget it.
Okay.
If you're not making 40% profit, forget it.
Okay. So yes,
Yeah.
you have your answer.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I know she's in business.
Yeah, she is.
She comes here in the morning and then go and do a business.
Even here, cry, she does the business.
Oh. My
she likes
customers.
You got your customers here, yes.
Yes.
Right.
So this is your final words.
Now, to the youth,
Yeah.
there is hope.
Okay.
We have got to eschew this. We are MPP, we are NDC. No. If we continue doing that, it will take you nowhere.
Okay.
The first politician I saw the son following on a campaign trail was Kennedy Dapong. When they did the work from Sun City or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the time. Why have you seen did you ever see a Sedun Ketua son?
No.
But he's been given a post. Now you who were there throwing stones at the police, oh, you are killed for nothing. When let them do their campaigning. You see, let them forget about them. On the day of voting, go and vote. Come and sit in your house. They'll make the news, and the person will win, or the person will lose, and then you go and fight. And when he doesn't, when he comes into power and say bring your CV, then you ask him. When I was campaigning for you, do you have
me for
CV?
Yeah.
Yes, you see, and being MPP, being NDC, we didn't take it forward. If I have my way, the what do you call it? The period of serving would be made 6 years.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Instead of the 4.
Instead of the 4. And after 6 years, you cannot come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the first 2 is for you to plan, implement, and then build upon it. So that if you are not able to do anything in 6 years, And why bother come back? Now the 4. We've got all these things. This agriculture thing that they want us to embark upon.
Yeah.
How long would it take a goat to come up this size to sell?
Yeah.
So within 4 years, and I haven't achieved anything. Meanwhile, I've borrowed. Now my government is gone. It means back to Batam. But if we are to be in 6 years, at least I can recycle it.
Yeah.
You see, that is why I support a 6
6-year term.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then alternatively having a national agenda.
Okay.
We do a national long term.
Yeah. So whoever comes to power, you just have to follow suit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's left with you people. I'm leaving them. Don't come to my funeral because you come in 4 by force, which will be costing the country money. You know how? Have I told you I was arrested for not stopping for the president before?
No, you haven't told me that.
You see the road from Presec. You see there's a traffic light.
Yes.
And when I got down there, I could hear the siren coming.
Okay.
And you know that area is 3
lanes.
3 lanes. Yeah. So the presidential, we passed the UPS, the traffic light. Yeah. The presidential convoy was on the right. Yeah. The 2 right lanes, and I was in the left. So fast lanes. So I kept moving. Then this woman to her, so when I got to the Opomuro traffic light, it was just about to, it was amber, so I moved. And when I go to Standard Authority, they crossed me. And then crowds started coming. So I said, okay, what's your problem? They said, did I not hear or see the presidential convoy? You are under arrest. Now I'm saying, if you cannot arrest me without a warrant, so say we are inviting you. So they invited me to the police station.
Okay.
And then at the Legon police station, when I went in there, the commanding officer wasn't about. He came back about 10 minutes later. So when he came here, what is so? My idea and why in Chi. What have you done? And I said, ask your boys. And then the sergeant, you know, you cannot arrest someone without a sergeant around. I said, the presidential, what do you call it? Convoy. And I nearly knocked
motorist.
Dispatch rider down. I looked at his face and me. Then I didn't see him. By the way, get the road acts out. Show me where it says when the president is coming, you have to stop. There's no way. It's only if it's only between September and now that it's been enacted in Parliament.
Okay.
We have to emergency, police, army, ambulance, fire service. Yeah, they are the ones we have got to stop for. So all those who come on our road, me if you do, I'll knock you. It's your stupidity that kills you.
It's your stupidity that killed you. It has been very great interactions on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Today was an exclusive with Mr. Che on our show. I know you had a different vibe to the show today and you've really enjoyed it. You've learnt a lot. I will plead with you that you put it all into action. No more ways. And Mr. Che has opened his doors for anyone who wants to get in touch with him for any financial advice through me. I'm the chief of staff. So you come with a bottle of wine and then I'll take you to him. So that's been the first segment of the show. We will be coming back very soon with the coverage of the budget 2025 from Dr. Ato Forsen.
Yeah.
So this is where we leave you. Thank you very much, Mr. Che.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will be glad to have you back in our studios again very soon.
Definitely.
Sure.
In fact, what I'll do is